Well, most sports can only be played face-to-face with your opponent.
But there are exceptions, and that's helping to save a season for some high school athletes here in mid-Michigan. News 10's Kellan Buddy tells us how the virtual swim meets are working.
Just like other sports, the season for girls swimming and diving was very much in limbo just a couple of months ago.
We were kind of cutting the wire with the district as far as whether or not we were going to have a season or not. We voted to have it, which we're thankful for.
Okemos swim coach Patrick Saucedo polled swim parents. They all had the same thing in mind.
Our whole goal here is just to give these young ladies a decent season, get them to the end of it safely, and have something that resembles some level of normalcy.
He says he got the idea of running virtual swim meets as a coach with USA Swimming.
We've been running our COVID and safety protocols all summer, so it was nice to have a leg up on that. And I just figured it was an easy way to stay safe. It was an easy way to keep everyone, as I've been put in our own little bubble, so to speak, and still have some competition.
Each school swims in their own pool. Their times are recorded.
I collect them, I merge them together electronically, I email them to the other team and the officials. If we don't have any complaints, we count it as the score. We have an official on deck, so they're signing off that we did the meet legally.
Saucedo tells me they don't know results until long after the meet is done. But he says he's happy to have gotten the whole conference on board to make this season happen.
The swimming community is very close, very tight, and very supportive of each other. And it has been that way, not just in this area, but across the state too. So it's super helpful, and that's what I love about what we do.
In Okemos, I'm Kellan Buddy, News 10 Sports.
Okemos streams all of its swimming and diving meets on its Facebook page. Check with your school's athletic department to see if they're doing the same thing.
The Michigan High School Athletic Association just released their updated winter sports schedule. This comes while they're still trying to figure out the revised fall schedule. News 10's Kellan Buddy is live in East Lansing with the details on what happened.
Yeah, Kylie, it was just 4 days ago high schools were told they could practice this week with the new pilot program with the MHSAA working with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Now they're going to have to wait another week. I'm joined now by the MHSAA's Executive Director, Mark Ewell. Mark, thanks for joining us tonight. Where did this miscommunication between the MHSAA and the MDHHS, where did this happen?
Well, I think what's important to understand is that this pilot program did not exist until Friday, and it only existed in conversations over the weekend, and only yesterday on Tuesday was the pilot program in writing. So we certainly tried to get the information that we could share with schools, and of course we shared with what we thought was the case. And when things changed yesterday, as the pilot program, those details got nailed down, we had to communicate with schools again. So that's just one of those things. A pilot program is always going to be changing and evolving. Our kids and our coaches have been ready for 5 weeks, but as we have since day one, we're going to follow the emergency orders, and nimble and flexible is the theme of 2020, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, definitely a lot of moving parts, and with these new details from the MDHHS, those practices are moving back a week, or at least until we get those tests and they can be administered. Are the games moving back about a week? Do you have any idea when the new game schedule might be released for football and the other sports?
So with Christmas hitting this week, obviously we've got a few days that are hard to be able to nail down when tests are going to be delivered, those kinds of things. So hopefully by this weekend we'll be able to communicate with our football schools of when that first practice date's going to be. Obviously with the delay, we're going to have to move back the competition dates slightly, but we'll see where things look like after Christmas.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Mark, for joining us. Again, a lot of stuff happening with high school sports, and the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the MDHHS. They're working hard to make sure those students can take the field again. Mark, thanks again. Reporting live in East Lansing, Kellan Buddy, News 10 Sports.
Well, tonight we show you the real bicycle kick, worthy of a Sports Center shout-out. Take a look.
What's going on, guys? I'm here with senior midfielder on the Grand Ledge soccer team. His name's Matthew Davidson. We have a fun little thing going on today. You scored a bicycle kick last week against Eaton Rapids, part of an 8-0 win. You had a hat trick too. He's going to show me how to do a bicycle kick, but first we'll start off with kind of how the season's been going. You guys are tied for CAAC champions with Holt in the CAAC blue. First off, how exciting is that?
I mean, it's super exciting. Grand Ledge team hasn't won CAAC in about 5 years.
Walk me through that night against Eaton Rapids.
The bicycle kick kind of just happened, you know? It's not something I really planned. It's just like, kind of thought, why not? Maybe once a year I try that in a game. You use your momentum of twisting your body, and that just gets a lot more power on the ball. So if you want me to demonstrate real quick, I can. Something like that. Okay, yeah.
All right, take one. Here we go.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh, they can't all be goals. They can't all be goals. You didn't get up high enough, like you didn't get your feet up high enough, which didn't help, and your momentum wasn't there. But really, all it was is just you didn't make connection with the ball. Oh.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I got too much of it. Thanks a lot. No problem. Whenever you're ready.
All right.
Yep.
Look at that.
I did it.
Look at that.
Yes. Oh, that one hurt still, but I did it. All right.
That was great.
That was a bicycle tutorial with Matthew Davidson. Thanks, man.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Grand Ledge, I'm Kellan Buddy, News 10.
Michigan State basketball coach Tom Izzo will be away from the team for the next couple of weeks.
He's forced to work from home because of his positive coronavirus test. News 10's Kellan Buddy live outside the Breslin Center to tell us how that will all work. Kellan?
Yeah, even though the pandemic has been going on for nearly 9 months now, coaching from home is still a pretty new concept for a lot of people, including Tom Izzo. He says he's been getting some help from some people who've experienced that before, including Coach Mel Tucker.
He cares about his players. He cares about Michigan State. And he's very unselfish.
Tucker says he and Izzo talk almost every day.
We have a very good rapport. We share ideas and philosophies and things like that.
But recently, their conversations have changed.
How do you mitigate the risk? And what are the protocols? You know, behavior modification. You know, all those things. What do you do? What can you do to give yourself the best chance? And then do those things and continue to reinforce those things.
Izzo also says he's reached out to Oakland Grizzlies coach Greg Kampe, who was diagnosed with the coronavirus last week. Kampe says Izzo's got it a lot better than he does. Oakland can't practice until the 18th.
She'll be able to do everything except be there for the emotion of getting upset at him during practice, which might be good.
He also says it's important to continue to lead as much as possible and practice what you preach.
But you can't be successful if you say one thing and do the other. And if we're going to be in charge of these 18 to 23-year-old young people that are growing into men, that we set an example.
Izzo's and Kampe's goals while in quarantine is to keep their players disciplined and diligent.
We preach to our players to be diligent, and his first sentence to me in the text was, "I was diligent." And I mean, that's just a word that we as coaches use to the players, because these kids have worked so hard that we can't ruin that for them.
And as of right now, the only 3 games on the Spartans' schedule are against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Virginia Cavaliers, and the Duke Blue Devils. During today's conversation with Coach Kampe, he did remind me that the Spartans do have a 6-game contract, a 6-year contract with the Oakland Grizzlies. He adds they will play together this year. Reporting in East Lansing, I'm Kellan Buddy, News 10 Sports.
All right, Kellan, thank you. News 10 will keep you updated as the Spartans' coronavirus situation changes. We'll also let you know when they release the rest of their schedule for the upcoming season.